All right, we are back now with Karl Rove, and it turns out there's something perhaps all of us in the media and everyone in Congress has been overlooking, the fact that Obamacare may be able to be repealed with just 4 more Senate Republicans. If they just have 51 votes, perhaps they can repeal this thing. Is that what you say, Karl?
Yeah, actually, it was an idea that was brought to my attention by Keith Hennessy, a former colleague of mine, the former National Economic Council director who's now teaching at Stanford. Most people think that we need to have 60 votes in order to repeal Obamacare, that you have to have 60 votes in the Senate to end a filibuster, and that it would take 60 votes in order to repeal Obamacare. But Hennessy's point is it ain't 60, it's 51. Because what could be done is to use the process of budget reconciliation. Under the Budget Act of 1974, Congress sets a budget resolution, and then under the budget resolution, the Senate Budget Committee, for example, could then direct the appropriating committees, like the Senate Finance Committee, to cut spending and entitlements and other programs that are already on the books. Like, for example, it could say you need to cut spending by an amount that would kill the expansion of Medicaid and kill the subsidies to insurance companies. And the Senate Finance Committee would have to report back a bill underneath those ceilings, and by doing so, in essence, repeal Obamacare.
And then you need a president, though, of course, on top of that. You need a Republican president. So
to sign that reconciliation.
Because obviously President Obama would
veto that.
Would veto that.
Absolutely.
But it raises a larger question, though, right, about the 2012 narrative, which is, will Republicans be running on this? And as you cite in your op-ed piece, this seems to be one of those things that they could wrap that it's statistically significant for them, that they've looked at polling, I guess, and they're saying, you know what, this is what our constituents are saying. They want the repeal of Obamacare, so they're going to run on it.
Well, I think that's right. And you've had on Fox recently Doug Schoen and Pat Goodell, both Democrat pollsters, whose analysis of the 2010 congressional elections is that independent voters who voted 59-38 for the Republicans, 24-point shift from where they were during the presidential election 2 years ago, they voted for Republicans in large measure because of the Republican opposition to health care, and it was a key driver in the election. I suspect it's simply going to get worse. The Medicare cuts, for example, this year are $2 billion. Last year they were relatively small. This year they're $2 billion. Next year they're $6 billion. The pace of change in this is going to, I suspect, draw more and more opposition. This is the only major piece of social legislation in the modern history of America that has gotten less popular after it passed. It was 44-47 at the time of its passage. It's roughly 40-50 today.
Interesting. All right, Karl Rove, thanks so much for joining us today. Great to see you.
You bet, Allie. You know, I noticed that Dave and Clayton weren't paying very much attention during that Valentine gift segment.
No,
yes,
Karl, I don't know if you noticed this. Look what I got.
I dozed off.
Yeah.
Look, Dave dozed off, but look what I got her.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted Karl to witness.
How considerate.
I wanted Karl to witness.
And what a personal gift from the floor.
Dave, Clayton, did you pay for that with your own money?
No, it needs to be.
Thank you, Karl.
Oh, it
Good
needs to be returned to
investigative
the
journalist.
set.
And you'll know who bought the flowers that arrive on your doorstep on Monday morning. Those are also not from Clayton's pocket.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Karl.
Karl.
We have some chocolate here for you.
You bet.
He speaks the truth.